It's great to be with you again, and I hope you will learn good things together with your group tonight. In our series, Crazy Happy, we are seeking to see how to be happy Christians, because all Christians want to be happy, right? Yeah, I think sometimes we have felt guilty about wanting to be happy. Don't be. God wants us to be happy and blessed. So the last two groups, we've looked at 6 ways to be happy Christians. Let's review. Stop living in the past, change our perspective, lower our expectations, spend daily time with God, take care of our bodies, and grow in gratitude. Now in this group, we want to learn 4 more ways to be a happy Christian. The first is, we must get on mission. Have you ever heard a story of someone you know leading someone else to Christ? I mean, their face is glowing with happiness because they were used of God in another person's life. I know in my own life, this has been true, the opportunities I've had. When I'm on mission with Jesus and telling people about Him, I feel a happiness that I really can't quite articulate. Oh, the happiness of commending Christ to an unbeliever. So right here, our first discussion question for group is this. Do you think happiness lies within you or outside of you? Explain your answer. Here's our next step to happiness. We must think of ourselves less and think more of others. There's a famous quote you've probably heard 1,000 times. But as humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And when you really stop to think, that is such a true statement, because self-absorption is the fast track to misery, because you and I are never enough by ourselves. We can't fulfill our lives. However, serving and thinking of others before ourselves leads to happiness. It's not a contradiction. It's a paradox. I didn't say a pair of ducks. I said a paradox. So let me give you a definition for it. A paradox is a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that when you investigate it or explain it, it may prove to be well-founded or true. To think less about ourselves doesn't seem right, but it truly leads to happiness. So another discussion time for us, okay? Here's the question. What are the 3 most important things for you to be happy? You'll have an interesting discussion on that one. Our third way to experience happiness is we must serve our church family. Now understand, we were created by God to be in community, not to live our lives isolated. The Christian life is not just you and Jesus. So at Simple Church, our goal is for people to attend, become connected with Christ and with people, to stay connected through groups, and to serve in some way that enables us to use our spiritual gift, and then generously support the kingdom ministry with our time, our talents, and treasures. And we believe this is one of the best ways to find ourselves more and more happy inwardly, because we are dedicating our lives externally to something and someone greater than ourselves. The final suggestion for happiness is this. We must stop the comparisons, and this is so important. If gratitude is the chief cause of joy and happiness, then comparison is the thief of our joy and happiness. Nothing will rob our happiness or increase our pride quicker than comparing our life with someone else's. That's when jealousy happens. And we start noticing, well, God has blessed others, but he forgot how to bless me. And in the process, we forget about all of God's blessings to us. No one's life is as awesome as they portray on Instagram. Remember that. And if we start trying to compare ourselves with other people, it's going to discourage us somewhere along the line. Well, 10 suggestions for happiness we've shared for the last 3 weeks. And really, I think those 10 are just a start. There are many, many more ways and plenty of more resources that can point us to happiness. But don't think for a second that to be happy is wrong some way, or maybe a sin. It's not. And by God's grace and our obedience to his plan, he can make us happy, crazy happy, for his glory. Andrew Bonar, great man of God, once said, God can make you happy in any circumstances, but without him, nothing can offer lasting happiness. So a final question for today. Do you agree with this statement? Happiness is a choice. Would you discuss why you don't agree with that statement?